So what exactly is this fitness coaching business and how does it work?
In terms of how we get clients results.
No, how does it work? Like you said, it's like a coaching.
Yes. So essentially what we do, we have two businesses. We have a fitness business that helps people get in shape, and we have a business that helps people scale online businesses. So our fitness business helps people get in shape by providing custom diet plans, training workouts, accountability, one-to-one support, and basically setting up the infrastructure for someone to change their lives. And from a business perspective, what we do is we basically take the blueprint of our really successful fitness business that's made over $10 million, and then we plug that system into other people's businesses with the actual team who helped me build that business. And we basically give you the system and blueprint, and we do it with you, if that makes sense.
Perfect. So let's say like me.
Yeah.
If I want to get into a better shape,
Yeah.
like have the abs and everything shown and maybe bulk up a bit, how much time do you think it would take?
Realistically, I'd say one of the big mistakes most people make, and it's just human nature, is we want everything like tomorrow. Like we both want to be billionaires tomorrow. We both want everything tomorrow. It's just the reality of what it is, right? And the way we actually coach people is we would do a minimum of 6 to 12 months because yes, we can get you very quick results. And one of the things we focus on doing at the beginning is getting fast results. Most importantly, so you mentally buy in of like, okay, this works.
Yeah.
Because human beings are emotional creatures, and we have to see that, okay, I'm doing all this stuff, nothing's happening, and then people get disheartened. And I would say for anyone listening to this, it's like you go to the gym today, you stick to diet, tomorrow nothing changes. You do the same thing tomorrow, nothing changes. But if you do that for like 3 weeks, you then start to change. So we tend to be quite aggressive at the start, so you get quick results, and then we like periodize out from
So how do you do it? Like for like someone is on the spot, like in Dubai, do you do it offline and online or only online?
We do it all offline, so all online. And the big framework I'd say is that the biggest lie that most people think is they need a personal trainer. Now, 99% of people, their main priority is losing body fat. You lose body fat through very simple maths. If you burn more calories every day than you consume. So you don't need a personal trainer to babysit you in the gym. You need someone who can actually give you a framework that you can implement into your lifestyle. Like I saw you have a routine on the wall, right? Like someone can help you put that into your framework, into your schedule, and then you can stick to that and you can also amend it. And this is where it's actually, and I think entrepreneurship and fitness are so similar. It's like the best self-awareness tool and self-development tool you're going to get because you physically start to understand how...
I feel more confident.
Yeah, dude, like how certain foods affect you or how exercise, when you get fitter, you feel better, you make better decisions of business because there's no way if you're in better shape, you're stronger, fitter, faster, that you don't make more money because you're in a better headspace.
Yeah, that's what. Because whenever someone is like fit and healthy, it's like more confidence. It's adding to confidence.
You have a presence.
Yeah.
Like I notice that a lot when I go to events in the US in particular. So I'll go to a lot of business events and I'm like the jacked guy there, and everyone like, it's almost like a tribal thing of like men tend to like go around the guy who's the biggest person. And it's just like I think ingrained thing from caveman days.
And how did your fitness coaching journey start and what inspired you to turn it into a business?
It all happened by mistake. And actually my second business happened by mistake, which we can go into as well. So essentially I always struggled with being in shape when I was younger. I was out of shape, even though I came from an athletic background, but I had a poor education in terms of nutrition. Didn't really eat very well and just thought I could work out to overcompensate that, which is a complete lie. And the reality is I got in great shape. I think at 25 is the first time I got abs, and I hired a coach. And that's for me, I was like, okay, this is how you actually change your life. Is you get someone who's done the thing you want to do. They show you what to do. You do it, you get the end result. And I was like, penny drop moment. And then I've done the same thing in business where I just find people who know more than me, pay them to teach me, and I do the thing, I get the result. And I would say for anyone listening to this, this is the biggest thing you need to think about is like, if you want to get in great shape, get someone who's in good shape to teach you how to do it. If you want someone who has a successful online business, get them to teach you how to do it. And I think the problem sometimes with social media and stuff online is there's a lot of people trying to preach and teach things they've never done, which is why I'm radically transparent with everything I've done over the last 7-8 years. Like you can look back through YouTube videos from 2018 or whenever. And I think that is actually interesting what you're doing as well with social media is it's cool that in 30 years time we'll be able to watch back on this video, or like your grandkids will be able to watch these videos. And I think for people listening to this, when you think about what you can do with your life, a lot of it is just taking the right actions, but also having good goals. And we're coming up to the end of 2024, start 2025. A lot of people like New Year's resolutions, but why do you need a new year to change?
Most of the people, by the time the New Year starts, they're like, we want to get fit. I think that is a main time when the gyms actually make money is that last few days of the New Year. Everyone wants to get in shape. Everyone wants to pay the gym fees for like 1 year and then they never show up. Like few days and that's all. That's when the motivation ends and that there's end up going to the gym.
What you said there was interesting, is motivation. And motivation is the least important thing you need. What you actually need is discipline and delayed gratification. Because same thing, you're really successful in business. That hasn't happened because you're motivated. That's happened because you're disciplined and you turn
Showing up every day.
Yeah, you just like it's bad. You just turn up and you just keep doing it anyway, and then it gets better.
Yeah, that's what. Like everyone can get motivated, but everyone cannot be get disciplined. That's what.
And I think that's just comes down to setting higher personal standards for yourself.
Yes. Tell us something about the coaching. Like how does it work and how do you offer the services worldwide?
So where we offer the services worldwide, say from the fitness and the business perspective. From the fitness perspective, you have a one-to-one coach you would have Zoom calls with.
Okay.
We have
for all the clients, with all the clients?
For all the clients, like one-to-one. And then we have a group calls, like a community aspect.
Okay.
Because one of the big things from a fitness perspective is if you want to get in great shape, actually helps if you're part of a community of other people going through the same thing. Same actually in terms of business that we spoke about, networks and the importance of your environment. So we have that. We also have an app where we put your workouts on there, your nutrition, you can log everything, and it's really systematized. Okay. Personally, the way I look upon things is I'm big into gamification. So like everything is game. Like I broke my foot 2 weeks ago. I was like, okay, this is a game. How quickly can I fix this?
Oh.
And I think that's the way we try and teach it to our clients. So they see the fun on it. And from a business perspective, the way we help people scale online businesses is we help them with giving them one-to-one consultation.
So when you said you help those people online to scale up their business, so is it like only fitness business or like any kind of business?
It's predominantly fitness because of my background, but transparently, we work with some massive finance companies, people in recruitment, some IT stuff, like all types of different business, property development, because the reality is you're taking systems which are very advanced marketing and sales, and in a lot of these other industries are very far behind the fitness industry because they're old school industries. So from my experience, where we've taken like the fitness industry is very ahead in terms of marketing, you take very advanced marketing into an industry that hasn't been exposed to it yet, you absolutely crush because that audience isn't aware of it yet. And so it's very, very, very effective.
Okay. So let's say someone is a fitness influencer. He wants to, like, he's already like selling some course or selling some programs. So what would be the next, take his business to the next level? What would be his first step?
The most important thing I would look at first of all is what's the point of constraint. So generally, when you look at someone's business, the first thing I would look at is how many leads have they got coming through? Are they booking, like the way we teach people to sell is on sales calls. So we try and sell more expensive programs, and that'll be relevant to your audience and your offer of like who it is you help. Now, one of the big mistakes a lot of people make, and which is why a lot of fitness trainers don't make any money, is they sell very cheap programs at like $50 a month. You have to sell a lot of those to make $100,000 a month.
That's what it is.
Whereas if you can sell a program that's 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, we've sold some at 25,000, then you don't have to sell that many. And the reality is wealthy people actually want to pay more because the perception of value is higher if the price is high. So that is the first thing we'd really look at is what's the point of constraint? Is it lead flow? Is it the sales systems? Is it the pricing? Or is it even like what's the CEO, founder doing? Is he wasting his time and he doing all of the coaching? Because the big thing that are the core values for me is time freedom, financial freedom, and location freedom. If you're coaching everyone yourself and you're doing the whole thing, you don't have a business, you have a job. And you've got the golden handcuffs where you make good money, but you can't go to Maldives, you can't go to Courchevel tomorrow. And the goal is to set up a system and an infrastructure where it works almost without you. You just have to steer the ship.
Yeah, that's right. So like how do you find those customers? Social media, or do you have a proper sales marketing team?
So we have a sales marketing team. So I would recommend we push very heavily in terms of organic content. So organic and then paid ads. Now,
so organic as in where? Instagram?
Predominantly Instagram, and it depends on your market and what platforms you're currently using. So the best platforms in fitness are Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube.
LinkedIn as well?
Yes, I'll come on to that. So Instagram is the best one. It's the easiest, it's best for conversions. Facebook is good if you tend to work more females. LinkedIn absolutely crushes if you want to sell higher ticket programs and you want to focus on entrepreneurs and executives. So we do very well with that. And then YouTube is like the golden goose if you can get it to work. But you have to be good on camera. You have to be good at making videos. It's a very different beast, which is why I'd never recommend it to someone unless they already have a significant YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right. Because it takes a lot of, YouTube is more like marathon. You have to make a lot of videos, so time consuming. Instagram is like very quick. You make few videos, you start getting the traffic and you
put one post to make $1,000 tomorrow. Like.
And how is this fitness coaching business different from the influencers doing the fitness courses and all? Is it like the same or like
Completely different. So what you'll see what fitness influencers do, they will sell people into automated apps, which if you look at what's happening in the world with AI, that whole market is going to be wiped out. So what people actually want is accountability and someone to hold them accountable. So,
Personal one.
yeah. So like you actually having a coach who's messaging and being like, how was the gym today? Did you stick to your diet? Blah, blah, blah. Because that's what we need, is someone to push us and put a bit of pressure on us to make sure we're held to a higher standard. And an automated app or ChatGPT isn't going to do that. And human beings are emotional creatures. Like, we want to make other people proud of us. And that's going to come about by us getting results.
Yeah, that's right. Because if someone is in constant in touch, like, did you wake up on time? Did you go to the gym? Did you do the fasting? So you're like, oh, okay. I need to make sure I'm getting it done right. How is this, if someone is already into fitness coaching and courses thing, already doing it, so if they want to scale big, so can they do it all alone, or they absolutely need to have a proper team?
The short answer is you need to have a team. But that depends on what type of offer you have. So to give an example, a very good friend of mine, Ryan Fisher, he has 40,000 online clients with a low ticket program. It's basically just him and a couple of coaches. So it depends. If you're going to sell more one-to-one coaching with higher price points, you're going to have sales calls. It's a bit more complicated, but you will make more money. Ryan has a great audience and he was one of the best CrossFit athletes in the world. So has a very unique background, which he can lean into, which is why I say it really depends on where someone is right now and like what's the ace in their sleeve that they can pull out and play. Everyone always has something. So to give you an example, you need to make sure your offer is congruent. So we have a coach we work with called Dave Kennedy from Ireland. He makes 175,000 euros a month coaching people, coaching other farmers to get in shape. So he's a farmer, lives in Ireland.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he helps farmers lose weight. He makes nearly like $220,000 a month.
Only farmers?
Just farmers.
Niche.
Just farmers.
Just farmers.
So he is a farmer. Like, he'll have videos of him like on a tractor talking about fitness and stuff like that. So he's super relatable to his audience.
Oh, wow. Okay. And do you do all this all alone since the beginning, or when did you start getting the team?
So the biggest mistake I made was not hiring a team sooner.
Soon.
In 2018, the first person I hired was a videographer, because I understood that visibility is more important than ability. If no one knows you from you, they can't give you any money, essentially. And then I think 2019, I had maybe 210 coaching clients myself, which is insane.
All alone.
Which is insane. And then I realized, okay, this doesn't make sense. So I then hired a coach to work for me. And then another penny drop moment of like, oh, I now have loads more time back and I can now make us more money by getting us more leads and do other stuff. So your goal in business is to take your value of the thing you do up and up and up. And I think one of the big mistakes people make in fitness is they create a job for themselves, not a business.
Yeah, job for them. Yeah, that's a big thing. And how do you scale it to multi-location?
To multiple locations would be in terms of just growing on based upon social media. And you can do that also specifically with paid advertising where you want to target. So we have a very clear demographic in terms of where we work. So we'll push ads to those specific areas. One of the things we also do is we look for sometimes where is a unique opportunity in terms of ad costs. So this would be very random, but our most profitable Facebook ads in the fitness industry were to Mexico, because the cost of advertising is insanely low. There's also a lot of wealthy people there. There's also a lot of American expats there.
Mexico.
Yeah. Which you wouldn't expect, right?
And what does a typical day in the business look like, from coaching clients to like managing operations?
For me now is very different. So if I look back a few years ago, it's just probably more relevant. I would try and get up, do like the deep work, building stuff in the business. So I learned how to do everything. So build a website, advertising.
So you know it all.
Yeah. So it's, which I would say is the most important thing for people to do.
Yeah, of course.
And then I would train. I would then take sales calls myself. I would then do maybe some coaching calls in the afternoon. The way I really try and structure my week now is I have a CEO who manages the team. Monday, I like to give the expression as like the sacrificial lamb of the week. So like that will just be all like team meetings and like running the business. Tuesday will be like fulfillment. So I will help people in terms of building their businesses and do some one-to-one coaching calls and that, and group coaching calls. Wednesday, I focus on content creation. Thursday would probably be something similar, a little bit of coaching fulfillment. And then Friday, my plan next year is I'm going to call it Freedom Fridays, where I have nothing in my calendar. I can just do whatever I want. It would be work-based, but it would be maybe like making YouTube videos, write my book, like being creative, because I like just being left alone to build stuff. Like my natural excitement is like, I'm a builder. I don't want to run the thing. So I want to make new stuff and give it to someone else to run, and they're going to make something else.
Same for me. I need to build and give it to someone. Build, give it to someone else. How do you structure your services? Are they always tailored, or like you sell a fixed set of services or products?
Yeah, everything is fixed like a product suite.
Okay.
And we have a range depending on where someone is in terms of with their business and the size of the business, because the needs of someone with a new business versus a business that makes $100,000 a month is very different.
Very different. Yeah.
And I'd actually say, from some advice for anyone listening to this, generally the big thing that actually a lot of people who are beginners need is mindset. They struggle a lot in terms of like fear, like paralysis from overanalysis. Like they just overthink everything, just don't do it. And the best people who are the most successful just like execute.
Let's say if you are selling something for like $10,000.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be something like you would be running paid ads with the $10,000 without even knowing if the customers are like, what is the idea to get all those big ticket?
It's branding, positioning, sales processes. How do we get people into sales calls? So one of the things.
But how would you find them?
The clients.
Yes.
So essentially we create organic social media content, pull traffic into your page. We would then hire DM setters, so people to go in a message.
Yeah.
We also have AI bots that can do it. They would have conversations with people, warm them up, book them in for sales calls, and then we sell them on sales calls on Zoom. And that's where the analogy I like to give is there's only two things you need to do is like book sales calls and close sales calls.
Yeah, close. Book and close.
Yeah.
And what was the turning point when you started making like substantial income from this fitness coaching?
November 2021 is the first time I did over $300,000 in a month. I think I did 350 or something. And the big penny drop was that was just being more aggressive from a marketing point and also understanding how to make promotional offers. So offers around like Black Friday, seasonality. And a framework I'd give to anyone is that essentially every month you want to have a new offer. But what you basically do is you take the same product, you just put a different wrapper around it and the way you present it.
Oh, okay. And back then, what was your team size like?
Maybe 25 then, maybe 25, 30.
And do you have team members from India as well?
I think we've had a few people in the past in terms of like graphic designers and tech, but not current.
So now, does your team sit here with you or like they're all remote?
So in an ideal scenario, what I would like in hindsight is to have an office with everyone in person. So
I always love it.
That's what I actually want. I don't have that now. And what I thought was a good idea, it was like, we just have staff in every time zone across the world. And then I realized I had the most dysfunctional business in the world. So like we'd have people in the Philippines and people in Mexico, and the time difference is insane. And then like I'm in the middle in Dubai, and I've got a lot of people in Europe. So generally we'll now only hire people between Europe and the Dubai time zone. We have some people from a sales perspective in the US, so they can do outbound sales calls. So we do like 2,000 outbound sales calls a day.
2,000?
Yeah, so we do a lot. And this is also where a lot of sales systems is about in terms of how can you optimize the leads you already have and get more calls booked out of that.
Perfect. And how do you leverage this online marketing, social media, or other strategies to acquire the clients? It's only paid ads or organic or what else?
Predominantly on it, organics. Probably 75% of our revenue is organic. I personally think paid ads, I've spent $2 million or so online in fitness. We've like lost a lot of money, but I've made loads.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most successful people in the world running fitness ads. We teach that very well to our clients. One of the things you have to have is great data tracking. So like the saying I like is if you're not tracking, you're slacking. Like you have to have everything really locked in. And a lot of people don't understand this, that the biggest lie that gets told to them is that they should just go and hire an ads agency, but it's your credit card that's on file. There's also you who understands the audience. And this is where actually the best skill you can have, I mentioned earlier, is like learn the basics of how all these things work. And then you can communicate with these people.
Yeah. Or else you don't even understand like what they're exactly doing.
Well, yeah, like you can't, like I can open that account and just look and be like, okay, that's wrong.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example. We hired an ads agency before and they were running female ads to men. I'm like, well,
wow.
So it's like, it's basic things like that. I think
that's like burning the money.
Yeah, literally. And that's where people have ignorance and and I would say laziness of not wanting to learn the basics of the skills. And I say the framework of what we really do is like if you think about the analogy of you give a man a fish, he eats for a day, or you can teach a man a fish, he eats for a lifetime. We teach you to fish. Yeah. Like we can do it for you, but we will teach you to do it too. So then you actually understand how to do this and manage this whole thing.
Yeah. And which platform do you feel was the best when it comes to paid ads? Instagram and Facebook, or what else?
Instagram. So we run YouTube ads now as well. So Instagram crushes, is the best paid ads platform, and the Meta Suite generally.
Meta Suite.
The one key thing I'd say from anyone from this is the data tracking is horrible. So I recommend getting the software system called Hyros, which is a very advanced attribution tracking software. The second thing I'd say, YouTube ads are good and Google ads for some of the targeting you can do. So for example, we've got like one ad set, we've taken all of our competitors' websites and we make an audience of that. Anyone who hits those websites, we then target. So they're spending paid ads to pull people into this audience. We're then just like taking that off of them and then targeting that. And then that, like an example of the targeting can be so good with Google.
What are the some misconceptions which people have about this fitness coaching industry?
That they think in-person trainers get better results than online, but the reality is the hour you spend in the gym doesn't actually change anyone's life. It's the other 23 hours in a day. And I also think that people have a limiting belief in terms of how much money you can make. So, for example, we had a girl last month. She's 24 years old. She made $233,000 in a month.
Wow.
Selling fitness programs.
Only fitness programs.
Only fitness programs.
Wow. And what do you feel like if someone wants to get fit? Generic question. So like, does he have to focus only on workout or only on diet, or like if someone says I don't have time to go to the gym, I can do the calorie deficit diet or stuff.
You just want to get lean, you do nutrition. In an ideal scenario, so like base minimum, if someone wanted to get away with the least amount possible, I say if you could do 2 weight training workouts a week, full body of 45 minutes, and you nailed your nutrition, you get in great shape. Like you look sick.
Yeah.
And I think we have an inclination as a society to think more is better. Like even in my own physique, I know it's actually the less I train, as stupid as it sounds, the better I look, because your body's less fatigued. So I would actually say there's a happy medium. So I think you can get great results if your framework of your nutrition and everything else is correct, because everything is numbers based.
Nutrition is. How many times do you train in a week?
Myself, 4 or 5 weight training workouts.
4 or 5 days.
Yeah, four max probably.
How much time?
The weight training workouts maybe take me 45, 60 minutes. On the other days I do boxing, so I like martial arts, so I'll do that as well. So I'm a big believer in like flow state and energy. So I like to do something like that to break my day up. But I'm learning a new skill, I'm getting fitter, I'm getting stronger, it's fun, it's competitive. And it also, as like an entrepreneur, if you have something that like irritates you in the morning, if you want to go boxing, someone's trying to punch you in the face, you forget about those problems and then your head's clear for the rest of the day. Do you know what I mean?
Like for me, if I'm getting bored or like something, I just take the bike and just go for a ride.
Yeah, it's true though, right? Well, I'll go in my car and just rip it around for a bit, and then there's something about the beauty of like driving a car or being on a bike, of just ideas come into your head. It's like stimulation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what all the time. Yes. What role does branding play in building trust and attracting high-paying clients?
So branding's everything. I think one of the things that you do beautifully well is look how good your content is, the way it's presented. People want to charge premium prices, yet they're using like an iPhone 9 to make their content. And it's like, dude, and they don't look presentable, they don't look in shape. So not you fake it till you make it, but a big part of things, like I said earlier, is being congruent. So if you want to be a successful fitness trainer, you should probably look like a trainer. If you want to teach people to build successful businesses, you should probably have a successful business. I think that is a really important...
Basically, preach what you teach or teach what you preach.
And this is something I get very frustrated about, because there's no one else in the fitness industry who helps people build online businesses, who's actually got an online fitness business, who's actually done it. You would work like very successful in business as well. The difference between theory and practice are incredibly different. And it's like that saying Mike Tyson says, it's like everyone's got a plan to get punched in the face, and like in business you get punched in the face every day. And in the fitness industry and online businesses, I've been punched in the face a lot of times. So like I know how to solve problems, because there's nothing that anyone could have who's got an online info product that I haven't had happen before.
So, and in this industry, like, of course, the one-on-one coaching is a big market if someone wants to really charge premium. Because if it's not one-on-one coaching or something like that, maybe that is not the way to charge high. So what do you think? If someone is already selling like $50, $100 program.
So like in particular, say for example, if you look at the Indian market, you could scale that to the moon, because there's, we spoke about earlier, there's so many people. So you could easily get to a business that makes $100,000 a month just pushing that narrative. But you would just need to get a lot of traffic and then have really good back-end systems to retain people.
Okay.
So the most important thing is not necessarily just getting people to sign up, but it's also like making the community so good, making things so good that people don't want to leave. And then also the magic thing I always like to think about is referrals. So if you can get one client to refer you 2 people,
affiliate.
Yeah, your business will grow forever free. And that's essentially the goal.
Yeah, always it's best to have affiliate marketing instead of thing done. All right, you're happy, get some clients, maybe get 2 months of free membership or something like that. What do you think of the future holds for online fitness coaching as an industry?
I personally think the way it's evolving, the automated app systems will die off that influencers sell. Yeah, and I think what's going to happen is people are going to want a lot more one-to-one accountability.
Personal touch.
I think that and communities. So like even in our own business, something scaling systems, the framework I'd give, I think about building an online business offline, which is why we do so many events in person. So like you meet people,
community building.
Yeah. Because everyone wants to be a part of something and you want a tribe and people want to fit in. And I think there's probably more people in this world right now who don't feel like they fit in certain environments than ever before. And if you can build the ecosystem and the environment where people feel they're part of something,
Systems.
that they won't leave.
And are there any emerging technologies like AI or VR that you believe will reshape this fitness industry?
Yes. So I'm personally looking at trying to build an AI coaching platform at the moment with video check-ins, which I think could be wild. The reason I think that would work very well from a business owner standpoint is you could massively cut your fulfillment costs in terms of having to pay and manage people. You would well know as me that like managing team is
Like for you, I think the best way would be like now you must be having to spend a lot of time on the one-on-one coaching.
yeah.
Maybe you can use some AI agent, fit the data, fit the algo, and it'll be like same person. You would be sitting, but you don't have to sit in front of the camera anymore.
And
It
they
would
wouldn't
be
know.
the same person, same voice, everything like, and the data will be fed like you. They can talk on your behalf to the client directly on one-on-one session. It can be done without even getting them to know like, okay, this person is not sitting. So that can be done as well, I think.
I think the research I've done that so far, AI isn't a level yet where they can make video good enough just yet. I think you might correct me on that, but I think that's probably not far away.
Yeah, not far. Like now we can actually absolutely like now if I want to like I'm right now working on a course on in that full course of like 5 hours of course which I've already shot. I'm not the one who is sitting, but it's me who is sitting and speaking with my same voice, same pronunciation, same accent, same everything same. People are not able to know. But maybe going forward, maybe we'll be having better systems, better AI, and by then people would be absolutely not able to know like, okay, this is AI. They won't be able to make a difference yet as well. Maybe someday.
Maybe this podcast is AI. Maybe we're both not real.
It is not. And what advice would you give to aspiring fitness coaches who wants to achieve similar success?
I would say biggest challenge I had when I started is there was no one really to help me who had done the thing I wanted to do. And I would say just try and follow the patterns of what worked. If anyone checks out my YouTube channel, Charlie Johnson Scaling Systems, we have basically free training on how to do anything in your fitness business there. And the reality is just look for what works and then lean into that more. And I don't care if people sign up with me or whoever, like the best way in terms of how you move your business forward really quickly and you collapse time is you find someone who's got the solutions to your problems, you pay them to teach you and you move forward really fast.
That is the best way to actually scale.
Otherwise you can waste a year trying to figure it out, or you can solve a problem in a month and you could be 12 times as far ahead by the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what I always keep on saying. Like, spend money to save time. Don't spend time to save money. That's what people do mistake. Like, they're like, no, we don't want to hire anyone. We don't want to get a mentor. We don't want to get into any coaching or course. We will try to learn it ourselves from YouTube. It's all free. Of course, you can learn it for free, but imagine the time you're spending to learn instead of getting to a structured base or mentor who can actually teach everything you in a structure. Where no, we will just go.
I would say the biggest problem people have in business, they don't even know what problem they're trying to fix. So it's like I can look at something and be like, that's the problem, but you can't see it yet. So you're wasting trying to fix things that aren't a problem. And transparently, I've done that before as an entrepreneur. Like I love marketing and I love like front end stuff. So I will try and outmarket all problems and get more leads when it might be a sales issue. It might be a fulfillment issue on the back end. And you're not actually fixing the real problem. You're just being a busy fool.
Yeah. How do you manage your time and maintain balance while running such a large-scale business?
That's a really good question. So the mental balance thing I think is challenging, but particularly if you have a type A personality, it's difficult to switch off. For me, that's why I actually enjoy sports. Traveling is really important for me. I think that gives you a lot of different perspectives. And also I think meeting new people, like today I've really enjoyed because it gives you a different framework and just different thought process. I think sometimes allows you to get out of your head. A great thing I would suggest for people to actually take more control of their life and be less reactive. I use an app called Opal and I will block certain apps, particularly like up until probably 11 a.m. in the morning. I won't go on like social media. I try and mitigate how much I go onto the platforms because I want to be a creator, less of a consumer.
Yeah, that's what. And what are some early mistakes that you made in your career and how did like it shaped up the approach today?
It's some wild ones. So firstly I was crushing at making loads of money in paid ads, and then I didn't realize how profitable they were and wasn't spending enough. The biggest mistake I actually made, one of them, was I had one of our payment processors shut down that was bringing in $30,000 a month, $40,000 a month, because I didn't manage the payment disputes correctly on a low ticket program we had. So that cost me $250, $300K a year.
Oh, wow.
So that's where I say like pain is knowledge really fast. And when you've been through certain things, you create the system to make sure that thing can't happen again. And I would even say now, like some of the challenges I maybe had over the last 18 months is with bigger teams and high level employees and really trying to like supercharge where you're going is how do you get everyone to beat at the same drum at the same time, is trying to get those things in place so you have less problems happen. And it all just comes down to like finding a system to solve the problem. But I think at the beginning as an entrepreneur, you try and cut corners and you're spread too thin.
Yeah.
Which is why
Too much.
Yeah.
Like doing a lot of things together.
Which is why, like, even if I look at like our goals for next year is just doing the same things we do now. I'm writing a book, scaling our long form content, keep improving our team, keep hiring. That's basically it. There's no magical unicorn riding into the room that we're going to start, that we're going to ride, just going to make loads of money. Like, but this is what entrepreneurs want. They want the magical unicorn.
And instant.
Yeah, like tomorrow. But the reality is, as much as people say that people are overnight successes, it takes time. And the most important thing you need to do is actually reflect and look at your business. So one of the things I do weekly on a Sunday, I'll sit down, I have like 10 questions I ask myself, and I'll review the week, what's going on, what I need to focus on. So you're constantly almost like coaching yourself.
Yeah, that's what. What is your ultimate vision for this coaching business?
To help people have the freedom I have now with less of the pain, because I went through a lot of challenges in terms of building the business to get to where I am now, and probably took a very difficult path where it didn't need to be as hard as it had to be, but I just didn't know any other way.
And that ended up taking a lot of time as well. So now maybe clients whom you are going to teach or coach, they may be shorter time, better results.
I'll give you an example. Like that farmer guy I mentioned earlier on, he made 15,000 euros last November. This November, he made 175,000 euros. Because like, I know the problems that will come up in his business before he gets there, so you can solve the problem in advance. Whereas before, like when your business is growing, you're getting problems, you're like, I don't know how to solve this. It might take you 4 months to work it out.
Yeah.
Whereas if someone's already solved the problem, they'll be like, yeah, hire this person or do this, do this.
And solve it and get the results better and better pace as well. Finally, what's a motivation for someone who is like watching and who dreams of building those successful business based on only fitness?
I always say the most important thing people need to think about is the character traits you need to be successful. So one is consistency. So forget about being intense. Think about like what you can do consistently every single day and turn up. Number two is coachability. So I actually want to call this a 3 C's. I think consistency, coachability. So there's 3 reasons why people aren't successful. They're either lazy, stupid, or arrogant. Most people aren't lazy. Most people aren't stupid. A lot of people are very arrogant, particularly men. And the third thing is being congruent. So if you want to help people get in good shape, then you should probably be in good shape yourself, or try and find people similar to you. So my background originally was an estate agent. A good thing I could have done back then, but I didn't have the business knowledge, was I could have maybe tried to push more to people in the real estate sector to help them get in shape. So like, think about what is congruent to you. So if you think about being consistent, coachable and congruent, you can be really successful.
Perfect. And when it comes to those high ticket clients, like how do you differentiate? Like if someone asks like, why is this one a $5,000 program and why can't I just go for the $1,000 program? So how do you just try to make sure he doesn't go for these cheap plans? And
so this is one of the most important things, actually a big mistake I made. I originally started my business with a low ticket program called Shred and 8. It was £97 for 8 weeks. And then I had maybe 1,000 people buying these things every 8 weeks. So it was good. We were making okay money. And then I had a guy come through who'd bought the £97 thing, paid me £9,000 for a year. And I was like, that's interesting. I was like, maybe I'm not going to do this anymore. I'll just do this. And then what happened, I tried to market the cheap thing and the expensive thing. And what would happen, people would just buy the cheap thing because they're like, well, I'll just try this first.
Yeah.
So the most important thing I would say is only have one offer. And what we do you like Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Okay, so I call it the Voldemort offer. So essentially what we do, the cheap thing is like Voldemort. You don't talk about it. It's like behind closed doors. So if you have someone like, they won't do the expensive thing, like, well, we've also got this, but you don't publicly show it.
Can we upsell or something?
Yeah.
Someone is leaving the page, like not trying to buy the expensive.
Exactly.
Okay. And for those rich clients, like high ticket price clients, like what can be the main offerings? Like one, of course, is the one-on-one call and like everyday checking in. What else can those?
Some really easy things would be like blood work. So like, particularly if you have clients maybe in Dubai or Europe, it's very easy to get people's blood tested and see like what health markers are out.
Okay.
And it's quite easy in terms of the ways to actually fix that. We actually help a lot of coaches to like level their skills. They know how to solve some of these problems. So I'd say that's a really good thing to think about, because what you want to think, the perspective of is not just getting people in shape, but you could add 20 years to someone's life, of course, or stop someone having a heart attack.
Yeah.
And that's where if you have people on sales calls, you don't talk about the deliverables, you talk about the emotions. Like, Charlie, do you want to be there at your daughter's wedding?
Yeah.
Like you will still be alive in 20 years' time.
Sell them a story.
Yeah, you want to. This is what you want to talk to them about. And I think too many trainers don't think with that thought process. They think about carb cycling, supplement. Like people don't care. They just want the end result. So your job is not to sell them the flight there. Your job is to sell them the vacation. Yes.
That's what. And what do you think? Like, if someone is already in the fitness industry, of course, scaling online is good. Like, if he wants to do it on offline, like a gym or something, is it a good business idea? I always personally feel gym is a very good like business, money making industry.
I have a lot of friends who own gyms. I would say it's probably one of the most difficult businesses you can have to make money.
Really?
Very, very difficult. Overheads are high. You have to have a lot of employees. There's a lot of staff turnover. Expenses of equipment are high. The margins are pretty low. Whereas if you look at like an online virtual business, margins are massive. You can sell to anyone. Like even particularly if you look at Dubai, it's very competitive from the gym point of view. So I would personally say the other thing you have to think about is the upfront cost of setting something up like that.
Setting up the business.
It's high. Online, very little.
Yeah, online of course you can at least spend on the ads and stuff, but here you have to fix costs like rentals, salaries, and a lot of those stuff. In India, it's almost same. But the thing is, of course, I always feel like in the gym, like if you have like 1,000 customers, maybe 10 will turn up every day, maybe 100 will turn up every day, but less 900, of course, they're not going to come because they may stay motivated for like few days. After that, they like do not show up, do not even come. And that is why I've always thought like, okay, gym is something like people are actually making money. But yeah, then when you come to like online, okay, online, it's like, yeah, you always have a lot of money, you have a lot of margins, you can actually spend the money on the marketing. So on this online and offline thing, like if someone is already scaling the business and already having a team, what are the best set of tools do you recommend to them to use? Like what kind of tools do you use?
It depends what problems they have in the business. So if you're running paid ads, one of the best software systems you need to have integrated, but you also know how to run it is called Hyros. So we do a lot with paid ads. If you look from an actual operation standpoint, I actually saw it on your computer, is like Notion. So we run our whole business through Notion in terms of like managing teams. Slack is incremental in terms of messaging. We do a lot of automation through that. We also have our own software system we call 7FSS 365, which we base all of our funnels through automations, chats, that we also like our clients buy as well. So those are the main platforms we use that allow us to run the business. And what's beautiful is you can run the whole thing from your phone.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Hopefully you loved this conversation with Charlie about how you can actually scale your business. And it's not just about like the fitness industry or fitness coaching business alone. It can be like any kind of business, whatever you're doing, you absolutely need to have the right systems in place. And you need to listen those stuff from someone who has already done it. And Charlie was one of them who has already explained how exactly he has scaled his business all the way to millions of dollars every year. So hopefully you loved the video. If you liked it, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel as well. And if you liked the video, make sure to share with your friends as well. And let me know if you have got any kind of success story or a good story if you want to share with the rest of the world. And if you think that it can actually inspire other audience as well, let me know. I put the link below in the video description in case if you want to get featured on this channel. Go ahead, fill it and I will get in touch. And I will see you guys this week with my next video.